the grade or the learning stage of each class. Okay, just by giving marks. This child has obtained only these marks in this subject. This girl child, boy child, in this first stage, half yearly or final, he or she has achieved this much of marks and has promoted. That is our traditional way of evaluating a child, yes or no? But that is not going to work out now. With that thing, it's not going to work out. Why? Because we have just given marks. Of course, some are using grading system also, but most of us still use a traditional marking system. That we are going to avoid it. And why are we going to avoid? Because that marking system is given only to assess or evaluate how much a child has progressed or how much a child has achieved in his or her particular subjects. Okay, but with the coming of this NDP, besides the grading or besides the marking system, you have to evaluate or assess your child in all your domains of development. What are the 5.1 domains of development which you have done in the class training? I have already given you in detail. What are those 5.1? 5 plus 1 domains of development. Number 1. You forgot. Okay, just remind and let you know. Physical development. Yes or no? Physical and psychomotor development. Emotional and social development. Art and aesthetic development. Cultural and critical development. Cognitive development. Positive learning habits. Is it new to you? These domains of development? Is it new? No. Quite many of you might have undergone diet and then BED also. Of course, yes or no? When you undergo that, you might have learned all these domains of development. So to evaluate a child or to assess a child, you have to meet all these 5 plus 1 domains of development. In the physical and psychomotor development, what are the curricular goals to be met? What are the curricular goals in the physical development and psychomotor development? Then we first trace on the foundational stage. Okay, before that, with the coming of NEP, the learning education system has been divided into 4 learning stages. Yes or no? What are those 4? 5 plus, 3 plus, 3 plus, 4. 4 stages. Are you aware of that? Earlier, with the coming of this new education policy, the learning education system of a child has been divided into 4 stages. Okay, this was very clear. Foundational stage, then preparatory stage, middle stage, secondary stage. Earlier we called it as preschool, yes or not? Preschool, then primary, yes, and then secondary. We divided that way, no? But now with the coming of NEP, like this, they have to divide it into 4. Okay. Then for foundational stages, it goes in for 5 years. 5 years, children from age 3 to 8. Okay. 3 to 8 years. Then, in this first stage, We call it B1, B2, and B3. Then class 1 and class 2. See, it is only divided like this. In the foundational stage. In the foundational, that is for how many years? 5 years, okay? In the first 5 years of learning, that we call foundational stage of learning, a child has to undergo all these grades. Bal Batika 1, Bal Batika 2, Bal Batika 3, class 1 and class 2. Bal Batika 1 is nursery. Yes or no? Then Bal Batika 2 is LKG and B3 is UKG. We call KG 1 and KG 2, no? But now we don't longer use the word KG 1 and KG 2, but we use it LKG, UKG, nursery. So when a child attains the age of 3, we usually set it for nursery, no? Bal Batika 1, that we call it, okay? Then the 5 years are being like this. Then class 1 and class 2. How many years? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. The first 5 years of learning. It is very important and very crucial. I have already introduced you in the last training also. In this very foundational stage, if the child has missed out, then there is always a learning gap for the child to grow up in the next stage of learning. So this foundational stage has to be very firm. Why? Because we introduced the foundational literacy and foundational numeracy. SLM, yes or no? Foundational literacy and numeracy. We have already learned in the earlier training, no? That one is very important. So the foundation has to be firmly built in a child at the first years of learning. That we call foundation stage from the age of 3 to 8, and it is 5 grades. Okay? Then 8 to 11 years. Class 3, 4, and 5. Ma'am, I think our thing is running out. Yeah. See, like this. It will be in these stages of learning. The central schools have already introduced this, and also our state government, the state government schools will be following these 4 stages of learning. So the new education system has changed into 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4. Okay. 5, 5, 3, 3, 4. Yes or no? Foundational stage, preparatory stage, middle stage, and secondary stage. Foundational stage 5 years, preparatory stage 3 years, middle stage 3 years, and the secondary stage 4 years. Okay. So it is likely that 12th exam may not be conducted also with this new means there is another way of assessment. We have to make sure that each and every student gets pass. That is the policy. Because every child has the right to come to the school, learn something, and achieve it. Otherwise, there is no meaning of coming to school. That is the policy of India. Every child who is coming to the school must learn something according to their grade wise and go back and apply that in future to become someone in future. That is the policy. Means to say that a child should not be dated, a child should not be failed. If a child fails, that is because the blame becomes parents. The teacher have not developed this one particular correct way or correct method of teaching the student. It may come to that. It may also come to a feedback telling that parents have not guided the students properly to pass. That is why it's easy. That outcome is wrong. Okay. Okay, after having the idea of these 4 stages, now let's go back to the mention of our today. You see our banner, what is written there? Face-to-face capacity building on competency-based assessment and use of policy progress card. Forget about the use of policy progress card. Look, focus on the competency-based. We have already done competency-based education in the last training, no? Yes or no? So, I'm telling the same thing again and again. Our learning for students should not conclude only in a marking system, but the child should have the knowledge. A child should have the skill. A child should have the attitude. What the teacher have taught to them according to the curricular goals or the prescribed syllabus given in the book. A child needs to have the knowledge what the teacher is teaching. A child needs to possess the skill. A child needs to have the attitude or the behavior which the teacher have already taught to them. That is competency-based education. Not only concluding with marking system 50, 60 this child has got and finish the examination. It should not be that. That is called competency-based education. Okay, you understand now? Yes or no? So now, if we are to define what is this HPC in a very precise way, we can define it in this way. It is a 360 multi-dimensional report of progress, as well as the uniqueness of each learner in all the 6 domains of development. I have already introduced to you the 6 domains. 360 degrees. What is 360? Like this, no? The 360 is like this, yes or no? Circle. Yes or no? So what is this mean? Multi-dimensional 360 degree. When it's do like this, then what is that? All round development. All round development of what? We have already mentioned before. Physical and psychomotor development, language and literary development, cognitive development, cultural and aesthetic development, socio-emotional development, positive learning habits, all that. Okay. So in all those domains of development, a child has to progress. That is called holistic progress card. Without evaluating the overall development of a child, assessment or evaluating a child is not complete. That is why this new system has come, what we call holistic progress card. We will be able to evaluate or assess a child in all the domains of development. Okay. How much my child or their child or his or her child has performed, how much they have progressed, that we are going to evaluate. This new card for this. Okay. And then, not only evaluating, but we are also going to review, give feedback at the proper time. At the instant of assessment or at the end of a chapter. For example, like you are teaching a lesson or a chapter for a particular class. When your topic is completed, you ask an instant question. Okay, that we call formative assessment, no? So this is also one kind of assessment. Okay, or you can, there is question, questioning. Okay, that assessment also, it's a formative assessment. Yeah, I'm coming back. So assessment can be formative or summative, that you know, yes or no? So, and what we are encouraged in competency-based assessment is formative, most of the time, yes or no? Formative means when the class is still going on, put up a question, whether they really understand what you have taught or not, or they have understood or not. Okay. Or in case if the child has given you the correct responses, that is well and good, they have understood it. But if the child has not understood, what are you going to do? You have to really modify your teaching method, yes or not? In an easier way so that the child gets it. You have to determine their strong points and their weak points. Our teachers will have to put more effort on the weaker students, yes or not? But we cannot waste the time of those students who are already smart enough or whose IQ is very high to catch up. Yes or no? We cannot waste students' time also. So we have to set certain time besides the class schedule that we call remedial teaching for those weak students. Okay. For those weak students who cannot go in equal pace with the smart or the high IQ students, we have to set aside certain time and give them extra coaching. For that, I think remedial coaching scheme is there. Yes, you have heard about remedial coaching, remedial class. That is also there. Okay, so that is an optional for the weaker students. Okay, so what I mean to say is, when the assessment is done by the teacher at the instant or the formative assessment is carried out, please try to give a positive feedback to the student according to the response given, and focus on that weaker students. Remodify your way of teaching, make it more easy, and so that the children, each of the student, learn what you have. Okay, that is what we call competency-based education. Okay. Then this HPC is to report on the progress and performance of child. I want it to tell you, no? And uniqueness of a child or uniqueness of a learner. I have already told you earlier also, each child in the school is different, in the class is different. Yes or no? Some are slow learners, some are fast learners, some are in the middle stage. So with this HPC card, you will be able to know the unique character of each of the students. Okay, in which stage they are. So this HPC will let us know the progress and performance of a child, also the unique character of a child. That's what we call. In that way, we define HPC in a very simpler way. Okay. I want to write it down, but it will be very lengthy, and then some of you might take it. But just try to digest what I'm trying to do. Because the thing, no? Then I already told you in all the 6 domains of development, the child will be assessed or evaluated in these policies. Physical development, I have already said. What is physical development? A child should know how to be aware of their physical well-being. For example, like eating nutritious food, yes or no? Then taking care of their safety of the personal safety of others, that is also physical well-being, no? And then running, jumping, yes or no? That is development of motor development, no? Motor, when we say motor, there are 5 and gross, yes or no? 5 motor development, gross motor, when we say gross is what? Bulk movement, no? So when the child at the age of 3 to 5 years, we are focusing on the foundational stage. Okay, they should know how to move their muscles of their hand, They should know move the muscles of their leg, everything. Okay, that is physical development. Child should be able to jump and run around, hop around to keep themselves still fit, okay, and healthy. And then when they do some action song or when they hold their pain, they even make use of their fine motor development. Okay, fine muscles. Okay, fine muscles means a small muscle. Okay, so even that we have to assess. And then socio-emotional development. What is that? A child should have emotional balance. You might have heard recently in the news that so many IT students have suicide at the point of exam. But we have seen in the news, no? Too much under pressure of studying, whether I will pass or not, or this one, the study, the syllabus for the exam is too much for me, whether I can this one, read all and pass the exam or not. With that pressure, some of the students, they have even suicide over so many cases. Why all this has happened? It is because of lack of emotional intelligence. Right from the childhood, that is the first stages of learning, 5 years of learning, from 3 to 8 years, if they were to instill, if they were to acquire this emotional intelligence at a younger age, when they come up to these higher stages, they will be able to balance it. They will be able to balance the depression and anxiety. They will not. But they have failed at their younger childhood stage. That is why they commit suicide. They take to drugs. They take to all the intoxicants. It's all because of that. This is also one of the causes for that. So, past is past, but we still have our this one, younger generation in our hands still now. So we need to make it. We have to let them acquire their emotional intelligence, how to balance their emotions at the right time. When they have depression, when they have anxiety, they should know how to balance according to the situation and environment they are in. Only then they can balance. And then social development. You know social development, no? How they behave when they are with their friends. How they behave when they are with their parents. How they behave when they are with their relatives, friends, and people around. That also we have to teach them from the younger age. So that also we have to assess in this SPC. Mental abilities. So no, even the thinking abilities is not there at this part. Most of us, we have failed in the competitive exam. There is one more mental ability test, no? So we, especially most of our private students lack these cognitive skills. That is why. That is just my perception. Okay, that may be one of the causes that we fail so many competitive exams because we lack cognitive, the power of cognitive thinking. So a child has to be assessed in their cognitive thinking also. Mental abilities, thinking, identification, recognition, investigation, problem solving, data analyzing, all that. Okay. Data handling, it all comes under cognitive development. Then language and literacy development. In that foundational literacy, we have already learned, no? What are those skills? What are those skills to be acquired by a child of age 3 to 8? What is the foundational skills in literacy? Child need to have. Number 1, listening skill. Yes or no? A child first must learn how to listen. Only then he will be able to have language development. Yes or no? Listening skill. Then phonological awareness, Yes or no? Phonological awareness, identification of letters. Yes or no? First is the identification of letters, no? A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, all that. Okay. Recognizing the letters, recognizing the numbers, phonological awareness, phonology is the sound, no? And after that, they started reading. Yes or no? Writing. After that, reading fluency. Yes or no? After that, reading comprehension. What they read, they understand. They should understand. And then they write. Writing. That was the literacy skill. Yes or no? You still remember? So in this first 5 years of learning, from nursery till class 2, when a child has already reached class 2, they should have this skill. Okay, they should be able to read nicely, read fluently. Okay, then read with comprehension. What they read, they should understand, and also they write with the purpose. Not simply writing, but they know what they are writing. Okay, when a child reaches class 2, they should have this skill. That's good. Then aesthetic and cultural development. That also. They should learn to appreciate the beauty of the nature around them. And then their culture. Each group of our community or tribe have a different culture. Yes or no? Culture in dressing, culture in eating, culture in behaving, all that, no? So that also we have to assess. Not only assessing, first of all, the children, the teacher have to inculcate in their mind. We have to first teach them what is our culture, how to dress, how to eat, how to behave, what is our culture, what is our game, cultural game, all that, no? We have to first instill in their mind, and after that they have to assess how much they have learned from us. Okay. Then the last is positive learning habits. Whether the child is attentive in the class or not, that is a positive learning habit. Whether the child is maintaining order or not. You must be experiencing the same also. To snatch away the mobile from their hand, we fight. Yes or no? Do you do that? It's because of it's our fault also. Now, I should say, we have to be blamed. It starts from home. We have to control right from the beginning. I myself, as one of the parents, I have to start from home. So soon. So right from the beginning, we have to limit the screen time. Otherwise, it's going to affect their life very much. Now they are no more interested in watching Cocomelon or what is and that. They watch the reels, the short videos. They imitate. Some are good, some are not so good. Some are horror ones. They even cry in their dreams also after seeing that. And then even the bad habit, they learn from them. Bad words, so they learn from them. So many negative impacts it has. Positive also there, but more than positive, negative ones are. So we need to limit the screen time of a child. That also is okay. So all these domains of development, we have to evaluate a child, and in this HPC card, we have to conclude that a child has finished his nursery class by assessment done by the teacher, covering all the 5.1 domains of development. So our teacher, you have a heavy duty. You have to, first of all, you have to know what are the 5+1 domains of development of a child you have to assess. That one you need to have a very clear mind. If you don't have that, you cannot simply assess. Okay, that's why I've been trying to remind you again and again the 5 domains of development, and under the 5 what are the things you have to assess. I have already reminded you in short. Okay, so considering all those domains of development, we have to assess the child in order to meet the holistic development of a child, overall development of a child. Not only concluding with this child has given secured 60 marks in this class, and he or she has been promoted to the next class. We are not going to use the traditional way of assessment or the we are going to introduce a new one called SPC, but we are on the 5.1 before, not 6. Okay, 5.1. responsibility of certain individual. Number one is methods and tools of assessment. So the assessment and tools, which methods of tools of assessment which we can use is number one, observation. Observation can be used. It is one of the easiest way. Sometimes our observation can be 80% of our observation can be accepted, but sometimes wrong observation will be there. Okay, but we should not consider the wrong observation, because at the ending of the data, it go biased result, and then we may not meet the expected evaluation to be done. Okay, so number one is observation. Number two is rating scale. Rating scale, in the last training also I have already done in detail all these tools of assessment. Then we can even carry out this checklist, anecdotal records, then even sampling. Okay, and then you can even assess a child by using artifacts. ARTEFACTS. What is artifacts? You can assess a child by the way one draw, art of drawing. Okay, drawing, coloring. When a child first go to the school, nursery, what they start with? Just, they don't give the pencil directly. Yes or no? They just give them crayons, color, no? And then they give them crayons, not the wooden pencil color, just the crayon. For what? So that it is easy for them. Whatever one they want to do, let them first learn the eye and hand coordination, no? Let them first learn how to hold the crayon before they hold the pencil. Okay, so they take the crayon and then either they want to scrabble or they want to scratch or anywhere, whatever they want, let them first do it and learn with that. Okay, so art, coloring, drawing, clay models, okay, and painting, all these are artifacts. So you can also assess the child by using this assessment tool called artifacts. Let the child do the coloring, do the painting, and then even clay models, okay, and then drawing, okay, and then worksheets. Now, I don't know, I have not seen the government school books. I really wanted to see it, but I see my child, they are attending the private school. When we compare during our days in the school and the books which we used during our time in the school and this time, the present time, it has changed a lot. Now, we have just introduced this one, we are still on the training of NEP and then all these HPC, then competency-based education, but book for the private school has come up, even for government school also, I think they will come up. After the completion of a chapter, they give the worksheet. Have you seen it, your child, in the private school, no? According to NEP, in one corner, NEP they write, no? And then they write worksheet. Not exactly question answer also. You might have seen, no? Count the number of this one, mangoes, write it there, put it there. You might have seen, no? Some worksheets or the missing letters. Yellow, white in the middle, or the blue, some letters are missed. Let them fill up the missing ones. We do not let them learn the solid thing at one time, but just word by word. No? So like that, worksheets also. Worksheets also could be used to evaluate as one of the assessments. Okay. I want to come to the point of worksheets, which is available in the present book of a child. During our time when we were in the high school, we don't have such thing, no? But now, the education system is already very advanced, and then the child learns in a simpler way. Okay, simpler way to make the students learn, to make all the students learn at their pace. Okay, so things have been done one made simpler by even using worksheet also. Then next prerequisite is test items. The teacher need to develop the test item. What is a test item? Usually the question, yes or no? What we usually do is the test question, no? The test items. The thing which you are going to evaluate. You give out the questions and you write it, pencil and paper testing. Most of the time you do it, yes or no? Test item, you have to get ready. Then, according to the subject wise and grade wise. Then, when you take up the test items or the question, so all this has to be aligned when we develop the test items. Now, next prerequisite is school-based assessment, SBA. School-based assessment and HPC. HPC is the new thing we're going to learn today, yes or no? But besides this HPC, school-based assessment is done in the school, yes or no? That school-based assessment which you do in the school, question paper and pen testing. That is the usual assessment we do in the school, yes or no? So as of now, we will say that that is the school-based assessment. Okay. So that school-based assessment or the report card, I should say, the report card or the progress card of a child should be kept, should be documented beforehand, and later on use it for filling the HPC. Because in that progress card,